Welcome back to Critics News with more update on as you take the go. Let's go straight to the reason why we are here. Now, this is Italian news. They say that over 1,300 immigrants have arrived Lampedusa in 24 hours. That is just in one day. Over 1,300 guys. Like I say, the method of pushing from Libya or Tunis to Italy now, it don't change hand. So because in the past we used to have about 200, 150 people in one boat, but this one now over 1,300. That means that, and I'm hearing that it is about 3 boats, which means 1,300 divided by 3. That means let's say 400 plus 9 they load inside one boat. But I believe say those boats must be either double decker. You know how the tragedy also happens. If they use two decker to load immigrant, it will be like saying a crayfish. Now they load inside those boats too. Now let's go to details and find out. And I also have a video to that too, so you guys watch and see what's going on. We are back. Immigrant update here 24/7. Now, scores of migrants made the deadly sea crossing to the Italian island of Lampedusa on Tuesday and Wednesday. That was last week. Now, they say that around 1,350 migrants have arrived on the island of Lampedusa by boat from North Africa within 24 hours, Italian news agency ANSA reports. The migrants, reportedly from Syria, Yemen, and various African countries, including Nigeria, started their journeys from the Tunisian coast city of Sfax. Now, let me make something clear to you now. Information that got to me says that it is very, very difficult for people to transit from Libya now to Italy. So what they do is they move from Libya to Tunis first, before they can embark on this journey. And don't also forget that recently the Tunisian government is cracking down on black African migrants, brown African migrants to be precise. They are cracking down on them, saying, remember that their president, which is Said, said that they came to change the demographic of the country from, they are Muslims. They want to change their demography from what it is to they want to make it more African than a Muslim country. So that brought about a crackdown that, caused the a massive arrest of African or brown African migrants in Tunis. Now, situated between Sicily and North Africa, Lampedusa lies a little under 190 kilometers, that is 118 miles from Sfax. From midnight to Thursday morning, March 9th alone, nearly 900 migrants arrived on the Italian island in 21 boats. Okay, 21 boats. On Wednesday, authorities reported 2 migrant boats in distress. The Tunisian Coast Guard recovered 14 bodies, that is 14 dead people, and rescued 54 people between Tuesday and Wednesday after a migrant vessel capsized off the coast of the Sfax region, authorities announced on Thursday. Voila. So this is like going for war. This migrant crossing from Libya to Italy or from Africa to Europe is like going to war. Some people are going to make it while some people are going to die during this battle. That is how it is. How the Meloni government restricts migrant rescue operations. So that also brings us back to the humanitarian document, which is the Protezione Speciale that was recently cancelled by the Giorgia Meloni government. Now, they say international condemnation has grown over Italy's Coast Guard and the country's new decree governing sea rescues after 72 bodies were recovered off Italy's Calabrian coast. Most of the migrant victims of the tragedy came from Afghanistan and a few from Pakistan. Its ruling coalition introduced a set of new rules including clamping down on the activities of migrant rescue NGOs at sea. That is, all these non-governmental organizations that are currently on the high sea, on the Mediterranean Sea, rescuing immigrants, doing charity work to make sure that nobody dies on the Mediterranean Sea. So the government of Giorgia Meloni is currently cracking down on them to make sure that the number of migrants who come to Italy does not increase. So everybody wants to reduce the number of people trooping into their countries. And that is why we've been having this issue of agitation in Africa. A lot of people want to go their separate ways to govern themselves and make a better nation out of the rubbish that we currently have in Africa as countries, especially Nigeria. Now, Italy's ruling coalition introduced a set of new rules, including clamping down on the activities of migrant rescue NGOs at sea, after Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's far-right Brothers of Italy party won elections last year on a promise to curb sea arrivals. Now, this is the same kind of policies that the former Interior Minister, which was Matteo Salvini, was working on. Now, a minister who has the same agenda is now in power. So it is not going to be business as usual. Under this new government, the law mandates Mediterranean search and rescue vessels to head to an assigned port immediately after carrying out a rescue operation, preventing them from conducting multiple missions in a single rotation. Now, what does this mean? It means that after a rescue ship, or those non-governmental organizations must have rescued a set of migrants, okay, and bring them to a safe port in Italy, for example, Sicily or Lampedusa. All of them are the same place anyways. So after that conduct, they have to go to where government will have to check them again to see whether they are still standard enough to go and carry out another rescue operation, which means that if there were four migrant boats on the Mediterranean Sea, and the boat or the rescue ship is able to rescue only 3 at that moment to go and drop them and go back, it will not be possible for them to do that. So they are going to remain in Italy while the government inspects that boat to find it fit and worthy for it to continue the rescue mission. So if it is found unworthy or the government wants to use any bias means to say, oh, this boat is no longer worthy to go and continue the rescue mission, that means it has to gog at that particular seaport where it has bettered. You see that one. So let me quickly give you a video supporting what I am currently telling you right now. Let's watch this together from Euronews.
Around 1,300 migrants have been rescued from the Mediterranean Sea off Italy's southern coast. The Italian Coast Guard signalled on Friday that a large rescue operation was underway after 3 boats carrying the migrants were seen to be in danger. Rescue teams were dispatched to save migrants aboard 3 smugglers' boats off the Calabrian coast.
So looking at this boat here, you can see that this is a double-decker, and it's made up of iron, and it is very, very big. So this is like probably a fishing boat that the Tunisian people wants to discard. So you can see the number of migrants that has been loaded in this kind of vessel to make sure they carry a lot of people at once so they can make the money once and for all, not minding losing this boat to the Italian government, because this boat will remain with the Italian government. It can never go back to Tunis again. You can see it's old, it's outdated, and they just want to discard it, so they push it to Italy with migrants. Let's continue.
It comes the same day as a body was discovered of the 74th victim of the deadly shipwreck off the same coast nearly 2 weeks ago. The victim was reported to have been a 5 or 6-year-old girl. Prosecutors are investigating whether Italian authorities failed to properly respond to the call after they deployed border enforcement vessels rather than rescue boats. Italy's Interior Ministry says more than 17,500 people have arrived by sea so far this year, almost 3 times the number for the same period last year.
All right, guys, so this is about these people that just arrived now. And I also have another video, talking about these particular issues of migration from Africa to Europe. Let's listen, let's take a watch on this, please, from Wion.
Now, at least 62 people are confirmed dead in the migrant boat capsized near the coast of Italy on Sunday. There are fears that the death toll could rise above 100. The latest incident has revived the debate around Europe's migrant crisis. Thousands embark on the perilous journeys across the Mediterranean every year in search of a better future. A vast majority landing in Italy set sail from North Africa. Some come from Turkey as well. Italy's Interior Ministry data shows that 13,067 migrants have arrived in Italy on boats until February of 23 this year. Now, this includes some 861 unaccompanied minors. The number of migrants coming in this year marks a significant rise from the number of 5,273 in the corresponding period of 2022. Over 100,000 migrants reached Italy in 2022. Of the arrivals so far this year, the top country of origin is Guinea, followed by the Ivory Coast, Pakistan and Tunisia. But the numbers say nothing about the difficulties that the migrants face, often in small boats in rough seas of the Mediterranean. The United Nations Missing Migrants Project has registered more than 17,000 deaths and disappearances in the central Mediterranean since 2014. This makes the region by far the most dangerous migrant crossing in the world. Only in 2 months so far, more than 220 people have died or disappeared. So how is Italy dealing with this grave issue? In 2017, then centre-left Italian government signed a deal with the Libyan authorities. The deal was aimed at combating irregular migration, human trafficking and strengthening of border security. The number of arrivals to Italy fell sharply as a result. But human rights organizations denounced the accord. They said that the deal left thousands of migrant hopefuls trapped by Libyan detention camps where torture was routine. Migrant arrivals stayed low in subsequent years, partly as a result of the COVID pandemic. However, as we saw earlier, the numbers have started to rise again. Italy's current government, led by Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, has vowed to once again reduce the migrant flows. One of the right-wing government's first acts was to introduce a controversial law for rescue charity ships. The government said that these boats served as a de facto taxi service for the migrants. The law hence limits the time for a rescue boat to stay at sea. The government has also forced them to dock at distant ports, adding to the time and the cost of their missions. The move has sharply restricted rescue ships' operations, but migrants keep arriving under their own steam. Meloni and her ministers have also visited Libya, Tunisia, Algeria and Egypt, seeking a series of agreements, including on migration, but in numbers, agreements, accords and policies, the real issue of migrants remains unresolved. And the question that we are left with, is the world too small to accommodate all of us?
The world done too small to accommodate all of us. So these are the people who have been rescued in Italy. Okay, let's look at the Coast Guard, Italian Coast Guard, that brought them to Lampedusa. Okay, so that is the update on the coming of immigrants so far in Italy now as I speak to you. So the number of people who are coming...
We are now available in your country.
Madam, don't do... is getting bigger, despite the fact that the government of Italy is doing everything possible. So that's why they have cancelled the humanitarian document, so that when you are coming here and you know that you might not make it, you know, say there's no need for you to come to Italy. You kukuma just stay where you are. And the update when they be that. Let me know through the comment section what you guys think about it. But like I said, the world don't too small for everybody where they inside. I'll see you guys on the next update. Thank you.